It's John the Net Guy, and today we're taking a look at the VTOMAN X7 jump starter, portable power brick, and air compressor for your 10-liter gas or diesel engine. Now, what's really amazing about this is how well it worked on my 7.3-liter Power Stroke diesel. It's John the Net Guy, and I'm just getting in my truck now, and I know that the battery is low because I can see it on my little charging indicator. I'm going to go ahead and try to start it up right now. We're going to see if it starts. As soon as I turn on the diesel engine, the glow plugs are going to start going, and that's where it's going to need all the power. So it's dropped it down to 9.9, 10 volts because of the glow plugs. We're going to start with everything off. That car is dead. It is not going to start. So I'm going to go outside and we're going to plug the VTOMAN in. We're going to see what happens. Okay, in this car I actually have two batteries. I have an interstate battery right there, and I have another one to start right there. So both of those batteries are low. So I'm going to show you how to use the VTOMAN X7 that has 4,250 jump starting amps. You can turn it on with the on button. This is where you plug in the jump starter on the side. The jump starter is super easy to use. Fits in one direction. Now, it's going to give you a polarity indication as soon as you plug these in. So these extra large heavy duty clamps connect on there. Now I have a green light, which means it's ready to go. Now, if I want to give a little bit of extra power, I can hit this boost button, which is going to be extra power for starting. If I just leave it like this, it's going to actually be charging the battery up. So I'm going to hit the boost button, and for the next 30 seconds, I have extra power where I need it. That was awesome. So it actually was able to give it enough power to go ahead and charge up. I can remove this VTOMAN now and go ahead and plug it in. Now, the neat thing about this is you don't have to worry about plugging it in backwards. Wow, I can feel these cords were warm already, but it did functionally start this thing up. I'm impressed. Okay, we're back in the studio. As I said, I have a couple batteries there that are a little bit weak, but I am amazed at the power that this thing put out. The wires on this, a lot of people are going to wonder about that. I showed you in the unboxing. They're actually 8-gauge wires, and both sides of the clamps are bridged right here. You can see where they have those bridge wires. So 8-gauge, not going to handle a lot of continuous current, but if you need a quick power bump like I did to get that big truck going, that worked out really well. I can tell you, when I used this pack, that one boost that it did for my truck, it did knock quite a bit of battery out. About half of it went away, but that's understandable in a battery pack like this. It's not meant for long continuous jump starting like that, but just enough to get you going, and then your car can charge itself back up. It's charging right now off the included power brick. The included power brick is a 3 amp 5 volt, so it's at 15 watts. This is a massive battery to be charging at 15 watts, so it's going to take a long time to charge this thing back up, but it's going to hold that charge in your car. Stick around. I'm going to go ahead and take that out there, and I'm going to walk you through everything that's needed to use this now as an air compressor. Using the VTOMAN is very easy. It actually works both as a tire pressure checker. So as soon as you plug it on here, it's going to show you the actual PSI. In this case, mine was down to 16. I did fill it up a little bit, and I had to start it over because of a camera problem, but here you can see it was at 41, and I sped this video up a little bit, but it is able to fill up just, a few PSI a minute, but it filled it all the way from 16 to the preset 50 that I had set to it, where it automatically stops. It can go all the way up to 160 PSI. Let's talk about the support here for different pressures. So it starts out in bars, and then it has this vehicle. Now you can hit this button and you can change between different items. If you hold the button, it'll change between different measurements. So it does bar, PSI, which is normal in the US, and then KPA. So depending on what unit of measure that you're familiar with, you can do that. Another interesting thing is, as you just tap the single, it's got a basketball, a car, a sedan, a bicycle, and we're back to the basketball. So you can set those at different rates. And what's nice about that is when you hit the power button here to start it, when you have this connected properly, when you hit that power button, it's going to keep going, and when it hits that pressure number, it's going to stop immediately. So another really cool feature of this. Another feature that this thing does have is a power output. So you can go ahead and plug this side in right here, and you can plug this into your smartphone, other device. It's got a 5, 9, and a 12 volt output on here. It's not going to do the higher voltages that some of the laptops that are USB-C do, but this is going to do nearly all phones and do that fast charging. It does have a DC jack here. This is 15 volts there, but it's 10 amps, which would be really good if you need a heavy duty output, you know, at a higher voltage. So 15 volts is pretty good. And lastly, on the side here, you're going to have where you put in those jumper cables. That's the side, and I like that that's separate because those are high amperage. And if you hold this button down, there's your high intensity light, so you can do high intensity mode. Now if you hit it there, it's going to go into red, and you hit it again, it's going to have this emergency flasher mode. So hopefully you guys can see that there. So that's the different one, and then it has an SOS mode. So if you are working on this, you do have your car on the side of the road, you can turn this SOS mode on, and then it's blinking that red to you. So lots of cool features there integrated with the light. Overall, I would say it's a great value, and if you pick one of these up for your heavy-duty vehicle, you now have an onboard charger, you now have a tire inflator, and you have a huge power bank for your mobile electronics.